Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of the Carrie Rolled On show. Oh, hey, I guess I should put myself on the screen instead of my guest. My bad. Let's try that again. Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of the Carrie Rolled On show, where we spend 30 minutes or so a week having conversations that matter to the mompreneur's mind, body, and business. I'm your host, Carrie Rolled On, and I'm a wife, a mother, an author, a coach, a personal growth junkie, fellow mompreneur, and your total business BFF. I help busy mompreneurs who are ready to spread their wings, to leverage their unique gifts so that they can make an impact on the world and help support their families as well. I'm also an avid runner and believe it to be an essential practice, not just to my business, not just to my personal health and fitness, but to the health of my business as well. And to learn more about that, you can download my free report, The 5 Reasons You Can't Afford Not to Run, at freereport.runyourselfhappysystem.com. So I created the Carrie Rolled On show because I have stumbled and continue to on my entrepreneurial journey, because the road to success thus far has been full of potholes, detours, and dead ends, not to mention self-doubt, fear, worry, marital tension, personal struggle, and I'm sure a whole bag of other stuff. I wanted to share with you what I continue to learn on my journey in the hopes that it will help others too. I believe in the mompreneurial dream, and I want to support others on the journey. So today's topic is Let Your Soul Shine on social media. Now, most of us can agree that social media is a valuable tool in our business. Whether you operate primarily on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, Google+, or another platform, using social media can be a great way to connect, with potential clients and potential partners. But it can be a double-edged sword. We are becoming numb to the incessant stream of images, ads, and catchphrases coming our way. We're quick to use your mouth, Carrie. We're quick to press like or +1, but creating actual engagement, a real conversation on social media, is a different story. From a marketing perspective, the game is changing as people are hungry for real conversations and actual soul connections. But we often find these things missing from the way most business owners operate on social media. If you guys heard the sneeze, that's my husband. He's home today. So how do we do it? How do we keep up with the day-to-day demands of our businesses and still use social media effectively? How can we use the powerful platforms to reach all our ideal clients, customers, and partners in an authentic way? And how do we create online marketing that actually converts? So I'm really excited to discuss this topic with my guest today, Dr. Jerri Eddington. Jerri and I met as part of Lisa Ingles's program on Hangouts and are now happily supporting each other in our business endeavors. We're both passionate about helping others to heed the call of their soul. Jerri is a success coach and holds a doctorate in education. She has a remarkable coaching program called Let Your Soul Shine, which actually starts today, so I'm sure she'll tell us about that. And she takes people in this program on a 28-day journey to eliminate physical and emotional clutter so that they can hear the messages of their soul. Jerri's also the co-author of the Kindle book you guys have heard me talk about already, Empowered Women of Social Media. 44 women found their voices using the power of social media, which launches on October 5th. And this is one of the reasons I'm excited to talk to Jerri. She's been on social media for less than 3 years and has learned how to use it, and particularly LinkedIn, to let her soul shine. In a world of click here and buy now, Jerri has really distinguished herself on social media. So she's managed to create energy that connects with her audience and her partners, and has particular expertise in LinkedIn. She truly has managed to let her soul shine in the digital realm and is now reaping the benefits. So I am so excited to talk to this big-hearted woman and cannot wait for you guys to meet her too. So now I will put Jerri on screen at an appropriate moment and say, hi, Jerri. Good to have you here. So good to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here this morning.
You're welcome. So I'm not kidding when I say I'm super excited to have you here, mostly because I've been watching you. I met you in Lisa's program, but really, I mean, it's the title for today's, I got you on the screen again instead of me. Hi again. The title for today's show, Let Your Soul Shine on Social Media, I think is just so appropriate for you because I can literally feel that from you in just about every post that I see from you on social media. So let's talk about how you do that and how you wound up getting yourself in this, right, as sort of a social media newbie, how you wound up getting yourself into this book that's launching on October 5th.
Absolutely. First of all, I would just like to take a couple of moments and really honor the soul coach in myself and talk about how I prepare to do sessions such as this or with my client. And one of the things that I do is I always center myself and get focused, and I say, okay, what is the message for this session today? And I drew one of my soul coaching cards. And the soul coaching card I drew today was fulfillment, which I love. And the thing that's so cool, the affirmation is, joy abounds in all areas of life. So it's joyful, it's fun. And as I was pulling the card, I happened to look down. I do a reading at the beginning of the year called will reading. And what am I going to do in the months ahead? And I looked at my will reading, and in the 10th position for October, it was fulfillment. And the synchronicities, I mean, I couldn't plan that. And I'm like, okay, we're right where we're supposed to be. And so one of the things that I do also is I clear the space. And I want the energy that needs to happen in this call to come through. And I use all the properties, the elements, and I start with air. And I literally clear the space with a turkey feather that was very special given to me during my soul coaching training. And then I have water going in the background that's misting. I have my candle going that is representing fire. And I have various crystals and grounding oil so that basically all of those elements are what we talk about in the soul coaching program. We take a week for each one of those. And that's part of who I am. And that really centers me going forward. So that's kind of, I wanted to share how I start because I think it's really important that we have a really good focused beginning.
Yeah, so I'm just going to comment real quickly on that. So already I'm hearing that it's not letting your soul shine on social media is not about the right formula for the perfect post or your salesy language. That may happen, but it's about getting yourself in the right space even before you do anything.
Absolutely, and I think that's really important because you want to be authentic. You want, in the things that you're sharing about yourself, you want to be authentic. I'm going to share a little bit of my in a book called Empower Women of Social Media. I retired from education about 6 years ago. And a couple years afterwards, I decided I wanted to do some energy healing work. And what I did at that time, I put the education part of me on the back burner. And when I was doing my education work, I wasn't doing energy healing work. So when I was doing my healing work, I wasn't doing my education work. That's how it kind of started. Well, then I started, and I had a website, and I still had no social media whatsoever. And I was on wanted to take a class with Denise Lynn on the Oracle card class, and she had a closed Facebook group. I wasn't even on Facebook at the time 3 years ago. So I go, I can't not miss, the group. I need to be in this group. So I joined Facebook, but not to the public. It was another probably 6 months or so before I went on public Facebook. So then I was on Facebook for a while, no other social media whatsoever. And I was very content having a very small energy healing practice because I live in an active adult community and I'm retired, or so I thought. Well, last summer I went to become a certified soul coach. And one of the things that I learned very quickly, if I'm going to help other people get aligned and listen to their soul, I have have to listen to my soul that's been telling me to go bigger for about 2 years. I kept saying, no, I've already served my soul purpose. I was in education for 30 years. That's enough. Well, my soul had other ideas. And so when I came home from the training last summer, I literally got out my vision board, and I decided that I was going to focus on social media because that was the only way that I knew to go bigger. And so I remember cutting out a picture of a LinkedIn logo that said, maximize LinkedIn. I wasn't even on LinkedIn at that time. Within that same week, one of the friends that's my soul coach, she called and sent me an invitation to be on LinkedIn. Now, I had received many invitations for LinkedIn, and I just ignored them because I wasn't going to get on LinkedIn. But I didn't ignore hers. And I designed a profile, and I started in July of last year. So basically, I now have around 1,800 connections that I connect with. I post every day, and I've had several opportunities with friends, making JV partner relationships from LinkedIn. And one of the funny connections I made with one of my friends, Mike, he actually was in a JV group that I'm in, but we didn't meet through the JV group. We met through LinkedIn. So that's kind of funny, too. And so here I am a couple years later, and now I'm writing a story in social media about women being empowered.
So let's just talk about that briefly, because one, I want to talk about LinkedIn because I don't use that. My impression of LinkedIn was that it is for getting a job, and since like keeping your resume up to date and keeping your business connections up to date, but I saw it as like a corporate thing, and it was not something that I was interested in. So I do want to talk about that, but I'm actually really interested in finding out, because I talked last week with Cynthia Carrere about the Empowered Women of Social Media book, and I know you're wanting to talk about it because your story is in it, and you've actually had a big role in using that social media to promote that book. But I have to tell you, I've seen it everywhere. Maybe it's the circles I run in when I'm on Facebook, but it's all over the place. So anyways, I have a double question, which is, how did you become this LinkedIn person, and how did that lead you into being one of the women featured in the book?
Okay. What I started to do with LinkedIn was I literally sent a request to all of the people I'd met in my energy classes and healing classes. So I'm a lifeline practitioner. I'm a theta healer. I'm a soul coach. And I'm a master toe reader. So that's the first direction I went in, because I wasn't doing my education piece. I was doing my energy healing piece. Well, it didn't take me long to realize, Carrie, and we've talked about this before, I can't separate my education any more than I can separate my energy and healing. So once I realized that those two are together and they can work together, things just really started flowing a lot easier. And so then I started connecting with people that I knew through the education world. And about May of this year, LinkedIn started having longer post options. So I started posting more posts, and I also used that as a way to put my affiliates and my programs through those extra posts. Has been very successful. And as soon as
I'm not sure what you said.
As soon as you post on LinkedIn, it then goes out to Twitter, which is very cool.
So, I'm laughing at you, Jerri, because was that your phone saying, "I'm not sure what you said"?
Yes, and I'm not even touching my phone again. I'm not touching the computer. I'm not touching the phone. The good news is we haven't shut down, because sometimes when you're running the energy, it shuts electronics down. But hey, I'm not even touching it. I'm over here. Yeah, I know. I'm trying not to laugh through it. There you have it. Live hangout.
Yes, I love it too, because it is great when it happens to somebody besides me, quite frankly. Okay, you said something really interesting. So I'm going to stop you for a second, because I promise we'll get back to social media, but Master Toe Reader, I don't know what this is, and I'm very curious about it. I've heard of what is it called? I don't want to say palm reader because that's not it, but the scientific palm analysis, but tell me about that really quickly.
Well, and think about this, okay? The sole, S-O-L-E, of your feet connect to your soul, S-O-U-L. And your feet literally tell your life path. And that's what was so funny when I took my my toe reading class. They used me as a demonstration on reading toes. And this was a couple years before I, was really getting into the business. And so she was going through that, and I was telling how I was retired, and I had this small little practice, and I was happy. And the teacher reading my toes, she says, "Jerri, your toes say you're not retired." And I said, my toes are confused. I am retired. And she goes, "No, Jerri, your toes say you have more to do." I says, "Well, I'm not sure what you're seeing in my toes, but they're wrong. That's not true," which is so funny. And that's how, the messages started coming literally everywhere I went. "Jerri, you're not sharing your voice. You're not sharing your light. You need to share more." And I'm like, I don't want to do anymore, So that was kind of that part. But now a little bit on how I actually got into the book is pretty cool too. There's another lady I know named Karen that I met through our JV group, and she has a Facebook group called Women's Intuitive Network. And I saw her post about a test that she had done last fall about what color are you? Are you a yellow? Are you a red? Are you a green? Well, I'm a high yellow. And I thought, oh, I can respond to this post. I'm just typing away, responding back and forth. And all at once, I get an email from a lady named Carla Wynn Hall, who's the compiler for the social media book. And she said, "Jerri, we're compiling this book. Would you like to be part of it?" And that's when I realized I wasn't in the Women's Intuitive Network. I was in the Women's Empowerment Network and thought I was in the other network. So I was totally in a different place than I thought I was. So again, I was really in the right place because that's where I was supposed to be that day, which I think is hysterical.
Oh my goodness, that is awesome. And again, it just gives me a little, those of you who watch every week, I swear I'm not trying to be self-deprecating. I just want to point out that a lot of stuff that happens to me from the outside looking in looks a lot like that. Like, what the heck, I can't believe I was just in the wrong network. And yet, right, when you just let your soul lead, kind of everything works out the way that it's meant to work out. So I have a question, though, about how you used, so you and I mean, we met as part of Lisa Ingalls' program where we were learning about Hangouts and how to use Google Plus and like what we're doing now for actual engagement, for interaction. And I'm wondering how you have, and I see it from you, and I think you've answered part of the question in that you get yourself into feeling supported, right? Get yourself in a very authentic place when you start posting or doing whatever you're doing. But you talked about your connections, and because I've listened to you, I know that you are actually connecting with the people that you're connecting with, meaning you talk to them on the phone, or you at least create this great relationship with them even via email. And I've gotten several emails from you and felt your sincerity, felt your just the ease of talking with you before we actually ever spoke, because when we were in Lisa's group, you were sort of there, you were like this, you weren't yet hanging out, so you were this face on the screen who sometimes would write things. So I'm really curious about how you are able to create the kind of connections that you're creating and the real engagement. Like you're saying, I know we're in this JV group, right, the Joint Venture Insider Circle. We're part of that group that everybody is joint venturing and promoting each other and copying and pasting and getting affiliate links and yada yada. But that it's, it doesn't convert the way that a lot of people, that we think that it's going to convert, right? And I'm so curious as to how you are so effective at that over on LinkedIn and the other places that you post. I see you posting quite a bit on Facebook as well.
Well, I think with the LinkedIn situation is once I started posting like inspirational messages every single day, and I started getting feedback. A few months ago, I posted a post that said, if you could give your younger self advice in 2 words, what would it be? I had over 4,000 people respond to that post, to the point that some of the diehard old school LinkedIn people said, you should be posting this on LinkedIn. This is a Facebook thing. Well, it went crazy, and people started connecting with me after that. And then it wasn't long after that when I started doing the longer post. But I can tell you, I have more people today in the last several months asking to connect with me because they see the things that I'm doing. I've had several joint venture opportunities that have come up from people contacting from LinkedIn to do workshops, hangouts, retreats, a variety of different things. I don't always do all of them, but the potential of it is there. And one of the conferences was in Colorado, and I said, no, I'm going to put that one on hold for right now. But just because they see what I'm doing and they check it out. One of the coolest things that just happened in connection with our book, I met a man who just connected with me, and his name is David. And David said, is there any project that I can help you with? I like to give forward. And I said, well, yes. As a matter of fact, I have this book that we're part of. Well, he is an international marketer, and he has a magazine that he does international marketing with. And he says, yes, I can promote your book. He says, and I can promote the authors, the co-authors, in the locations that they're at too. So literally is putting together this thing for us to promote our book, which is pretty cool.
And so I think the message that I'm getting from you is that it is about trusting and being super authentic, that it's not about when you sit down you think about mind tricks that you're going to play on how am I going to get this post to convert, or how but it's about the place that you're coming from, that when we talk about letting your soul shine, right, on social media, that you are living that you are not letting what the outside voices say, right? Like what makes a good post, what makes a high converting post, but that you are actually allowing yourself to be guided as to what you put on social media.
And I do have a lot of conversations offline that have originated from LinkedIn. And when I set a time to talk to someone, I don't schedule 15 minutes to talk to someone. I schedule myself at least an hour, because I know if it's an authentic connection, it's going to go more than 15 minutes. I already know that. And I don't want to say that I'm going to only talk to you for 15 minutes, because that's not authentic to me, especially if I know that there's going to be a connection. And I can usually tell it pretty quickly. And quite honestly, because of the business that I'm doing that's heart-based and heart-centered, and I'm really sharing from my soul, the people that I'm connecting with are pretty much in that same place too, which is why the alignment, that I'm aligned and I'm clear about what I want, then I'm going to attract those people in to support what I'm doing, and I can support them.
And I just want to say that you've been masterful at that I have felt that from you. We met months ago, right? But we really have only connected in the past, I don't know, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, where we've connected more closely and intimately. And I will say that one of the ways that I see you letting your soul shine on social media is that you are giving. You are giving so genuinely and so from the heart. And the first time that I met you, you were like, oh, I'm happy to help you with that. How can I help? It seems like something great that you're up to. And you were really authentic in that, and very much willing to serve, which then, of course, made me like, yeah, how can I help you? Want to be on my show? Let's talk.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. And it's like, I honestly can't say that I sit down and say, okay, this is my return on investment on this post, because it's not just about a post. if a connection's authentic, it's going to be over time, and it's going to deepen over time. It's not about a post or even a particular program. And our book that's launching on Sunday, it's a book launch for Kindle, and 15 days, on the 15th, it's going to be our book launch. But our relationships that we've made with those 100 people that are the co-authors and the endorsers, they're not going to end in a couple of weeks. They're just getting stronger. And our relationship is getting closer and deeper with people literally all over the world, because we know that that's a target, but that's not going to be the end of our connection.
So, Jerri, let's talk about that. And I apologize if you guys can hear my dog barking. I scheduled the show at this time because my children are all at school, and my littlest one is at school for a very short amount of time. But it's also the time that the mailman comes, and so inevitably we have a dog barking at least once during the show. If you can't hear it, awesome. But what I want to do now is, we have just like 4 or 5 minutes left. I want to give you a chance to link drop. I want to give you a chance to tell us where we can get this book, and also I would love you to, I will be posting your links, I'll be posting your link in the comment section, so those of you watching, just hang out for a minute while I'm able to do that. But to find out what you've got going on, how we can connect with you, and yeah, how we can help you.
Well, the first thing is definitely that we're going to post the Empowered Women of Social Media link for our launch on Sunday. And the thing that's so cool about that, Carla started her own group back in 2010 when she was going through a divorce. She started the Women's Empowerment Network. She now has almost 26,000 people in her Facebook group of women. And what Carla decided to do was to create this book of letting women share their voices. And what's happened is she's had all these different women from different walks of life coming together for this book. And the thing that's so cool about it, there's people that have been sharing their story forever, and there's people that are sharing their story for the very first time, and it's starting to get real, like, oh my gosh, we're getting close to this, and it's really out there. So that's definitely one of the things that I want to talk about. And Sunday is our Kindle launch, and we're asking that you download our book for 99 cents, because we're targeting this launch, literally an international launch, so we can go to be an international bestseller. So that would definitely be one of the links. The other link that I have is called, I have a free gift for you. That's 6 audios on the change process, and you can I give you that link also, Carrie. And basically, the audio series is the different things that we go through as we're going through the change, which is exactly what my story is about. Is how I transition from being a middle school principal to being a business owner, and now taking my business bigger through social media. And that's the whole premise of what my story is about. So this free gift really correlates with that too.
Jerri, thank you so much. Just one, thank you for sharing your free gift. I didn't even know you were going to do that. I love that. And 2, yes, the Empowered Women of Social Media book. I will get that link up as quickly as I can as we're ending this show. You guys, if you watch me, you know I don't really do 2 things at once. So just hold tight, and I will get that link up momentarily. I'm pretty sure, is it, I'm sorry, Jerri, I'm putting you back on. Is it empoweredwomenofsocialmedia.com? Could that be it?
Yes, and I sent you an email with the links too that you can grab too, if that helps.
Perfect. So,
and the website's really cool because you can go in there and you can learn about the co-authors, you can learn about the process, and you can sign up to get the emails for Sunday's launch too.
Well, I am really excited to get that book. One, because I get inspired by reading other people's stories, by hearing about other people's serendipities, just like yours, and but really get inspired by, especially there's 44 stories plus I guess the sponsors of the book, but
stories too. So actually it's 44 chapters, and then there's little mini stories from the endorsers too, which is so cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what I love about things like that is I like to use them, right? I don't have like a daily devotional, but something like that where every day you read a little snippet and you get inspired by what somebody else did in their life. You learn from their story, and I just have a passion for people who are, I like can't get enough of hearing people who are living their passion, living their gifts, like they have come into the life that they are meant to live. I just think is amazing. So, okay, well, we are out of time. It is exactly 11 o'clock here Pacific time. So I just want to say thank you, Jerri. Thank you for being a guest on my show. I'm putting you on the screen so you can smile and tell everybody thank you for watching. I will get Jerri's links up in just a minute. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to have to figure out what they are. No, I think I can put them in the comments on YouTube as well. But for sure, empoweredwomenofsocialmedia.com. And then if you're on Google+, I know I've already posted about Jerri's program starting today. I'm guessing it's probably not too late to get in, which is...
We literally are starting, and it's a self-paced program. So if people want to sign up today, that's fine too. We have some new people that are joining us, so it's very cool.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that just because I love what Jerri's doing. I love who she is, and I'm sure if you're watching this, you can feel her energy too. So if it resonates with you, I will post that link as well. And just thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Here's a great big virtual hug. Mompreneurs, right? Mompreneurs unite, and yeah, let your soul shine on social media. As we found with Jerri and I'm experiencing with myself, the more authentic you can be, the more that you can come from a place of just being who you are, the more you will resonate with the people who you're meant to serve. So on that note, thanks for being here. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you all next week. Next week we're having Lisa Ingalls on the show, where we'll continue this conversation, right, about the evolving world of social media and how it is now more than ever essential that we find how to make our soul shine on social media, and we find the platform where we can absolutely get the most engagement. So I'm really looking forward to that. And on that note, I will say thank you all for being here, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, Jerri.